Oh my God, you guys. What is up? Hello. And welcome back to our second season of the Dear Black Woman podcast. For those of you who don't know, we are an international podcast where we celebrate the brilliance, resilience, and beauty of Black womanhood across the globe, okay? I am your host, Cammie Red, joining you live from the United States. Next month, it'll be live from Vietnam. But joining me today is my co-host, Miss Lauren Edwards, and she is coming to you live from London, England. And in this episode, we're delving into the profound power of words, speaking our truth and writing our own narratives. We explore how language shapes our identities, both individually and collectively. Words have the incredible ability to heal, to inspire, and to redefine who we are. Listen, we'll discuss the importance of owning your own story, dismantling harmful stereotypes, and creating narratives that authentically reflect our lived experiences across cultures and continents. Get ready for a thought-provoking conversation today, inspiring personal stories, because y'all know we always give a little bit of who we are, and actionable tips to help you reclaim your voice and embrace the courage to speak and write with authenticity. Now, before we move forward, I just want to let me angle the camera real quick, and I just want to say, y'all see my Dear Black Woman's t-shirt. Y'all make sure y'all jump over to the shop, which is dearblackwoman.me, and I'm going to post it so you can see it. You see dearblackwoman.me, and grab your t-shirt. I don't know if you noticed, but in one episode, Lauren had on a t-shirt too, and hers was white. They come in various colors. So please go get you a Dear Black Woman t-shirt. And while you're also getting a Dear Black Woman t-shirt on dearblackwoman.me, sign up for a subscription to our print and digital magazine as well, because that's right, we doing it like that. We are global. We are giving you information, educating you, and inspiring you, and entertaining you, and making sure that Black women get as much education, information, as entertainment as possible from other Black women. Just a safe space for y'all. So without further ado, I'm going to bring Lauren to the stage.
Hey, Cameron! Second season.
We are on our second season. I want to pour out a look. I want to pour some out for the dead homies who ain't with us no more. A moment of silence. It's over. Listen,
I got like a pen or something.
Okay.
My lovely, are you good? Are you excited? We're going again.
First of all, Happy New Year, Lauren. Okay.
Yes.
The last time we were on, it was in December of 2024.
We're in a whole new year now. A whole new year. Yes. So we have started. We have done the first season. It was done, dusted. We are now gonna put our seatbelts on for.
Listen. We literally ended the first season with a bang with our uncensored show. 100%. So it was just like boom, fireworks. Okay.
So today is gonna be let's see. I have to get back into it again.
Listen, but today is something that you and I both can relate to. Our topic 100%. Is the power of words. We talk constantly about how words drive us, how we drive ourselves. We literally just had a conversation about physical appearance and how words are important, and what people say to us stays with us. I've given my history as my why as to why I wrote the book, Dear Black Woman. I talk about how my most recent relationship broke me down emotionally and mentally because of words.
Of course. And I think, when we talk about that, and when you really take time to reflect, it's never the direct stuff that has an effect. I think it's the subliminal stuff. I think it's the drip feeding of words. So like in my previous relationship, always being told that I could lose weight, or you don't really look, it could be something so subtle.
Which is crazy, you guys, because Lauren has the most awesomest body. It's the body that all of us women.
Do I need to mute you or fit? My that's my famous. But yeah, and then so I get it. It's never a direct. I think when someone's direct, if someone turned around and said to you, Cami, you whatever, you piece of shit, and you're this, and you're fat, and you're gonna be like, hell no.
Yeah.
I think it's the little subtle stuff. If someone was to say to you, Cami, you're gonna wear that, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you say, oh, why? What? Oh, nothing. That's the kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's the power. I think when it's direct, it never has the same effect when it's subtle, and it's consistent. It makes you continue.
Let me. I actually tagged you in a post last night. You probably didn't get to see it, but I tagged you.
I did see it. I did not reply back to it, but yeah, I did see it, and I was going to have words with you about it, because I'm really proud of you. You have come far, and it recognizing it is a massive achievement. Recognizing it,
like, do you
that
see?
Is like,
did you see the words I was using about myself at that time? I was literally telling myself that I was useless, that I was worthless, and I had no value to anyone. And that was just 6 months ago, Lauren. That was just 6 months ago.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah, those are the things
you use now about yourself.
I am brilliant. I'm a genius, and everybody needs me. Yeah.
Like, can you snap your fingers when you say that, please?
Listen, but that shows you, like, 6 months ago, I was walking away from a 2-year relationship that had torn me down merely with just words. Okay,
just
words. To constantly to hear someone say, you're worthless, you're of no value, you're useless, you're of no benefit to me. And and I get when you say it's just the subtleness of it over time.
Which is consistent.
Yeah. And what's crazy is before I got in that relationship, you couldn't tell me that I wasn't the shit. You couldn't. Like,
and that's why I said, if someone had out and out came to you and said you're useless, you're worthless from the jump, you wouldn't even entertain that person. So it has to be a consistent something that's happening underlying.
Yeah.
So do you also feel like the words that you are being told are a product of you, how you grew up? Because I would say that I'm a lot more susceptible to certain words because of that's how you may be feeling. So what I'm saying, your emotions and how you feel are connected to the words that kind of penetrate. Do you get what I mean?
So I'm going to be completely 100% transparent with you and our viewers and our listeners out there when I say it is 100% connected to the things that were said and how I was treated growing up. The reason why I was able to accept those words, why I stayed in that situation, why I endured being told that, is because what I've learned is that that's how I felt about myself. But I felt that about myself because, unfortunately for me, that's how I was treated growing up.
Yeah.
That's how I was made to feel growing up, that I was useless, that I was worthless, that I was of no value. But the crazy part is that wasn't true then, and it's not true now.
No, but it's what was linked. Like I said, there's certain things that will allow through because that's how you feel at the time.
Yeah.
And then there's things that you won't allow through because you just think, well, that's just completely stupid. If someone was to say to you that you're not caring, that wouldn't get through to you because you know within yourself, I care, I do care. So
the crazy part is, if someone says to me that I'm not caring, I would look at them and say, let me tell you something. Caring is one of my weaknesses, not one of my strengths.
Yeah.
It's a huge weakness for me. And so you can't look at me and say that Cammie isn't a caring and compassionate person. Unfortunately, I'm so caring and compassionate that it has become a weakness as opposed to a strength.
Yeah.
I was telling you about the conversation I had last night with June. That's one of the things June actually said to me. She said, you care too much about certain people, and you got to stop feeling sorry for people. You got to allow people to be in their own bitterness, be in their own disappointment, and be in their own way. Sometimes God puts people in a predicament to see if they're really worthy of the blessing that's on the other side of it.
Well, I do believe, like, you know, when we're talking about the power of words, this is why I said it can bring you up for the day, it can bring you down for the day. And even silly things like people, you know, recently have been talking around me, people are a lot more conscious of what they say now, because they always say it's attached to their bodies, it's attached to their energy. So, you know, even down to I mean, don't get me wrong, it is my biggest gripe, when someone says grand rising. Yeah. So when people use grand rising, I don't really like it. But I understand the reasons behind it, and that people don't like using the word morning, you know, because of the connotation that it has attached to it. And even like I have an auntie that's like, oh, you know, when you talk about parent, actually it's pay rent. And it's like, oh, because there's a higher system who can take your children. There's lots of things around it. So all these people that come around me, they always make you, there are people that question certain words because of how it, you know,
because the root of those words. Like, you don't ever hear me say good morning. I say peace and blessings all the time. Or I say
not grand rising.
I don't like grand. Look, hold on. I'm like you. I don't like grand risings either.
It gives me the ick.
Like when people say that to me, I just be like, all right, I get it. Peace and blessings. And then I have to remember.
Why? Because when I hear grand risings, I always imagine like a big Rasta man. With a big Rasta man, just sitting there like, you know, bong. Grand risings.
And so I'm always peace and blessings. And I start instead of saying hello, I say greetings, you know, like, you know.
Did you really think about the words when you was writing your book? Did you really think about how they would bounce off of that page and into someone's life? Or was
Absolutely.
I've just got to get this out?
I thought about it to the intent that I wrote it in AAVE, in African American vernacular. Right. I did not write it to be grammatically correct. I did not write it, even though I'm a scholar when it comes to writing, I wrote it with AAVE on purpose.
Perfect.
I wrote it because I wanted it to be relatable to Black women. I wanted to be, and when if you listen to it on Audible, the way I read it is the way you and I talk to each other.
Yes. So that's why I'm saying the power of what, you know, when you're writing those words and when you're putting those things down, like I said, you had to be, I wouldn't say conscious, but you had to understand that someone's going to take that. They're going to take it in probably 6 or 7 different views. And, you know, even with our podcast, you know, I know that, you know, even with the uncensored, some people might have had, you know, like some people might have had a way of speaking that, you know, our audience or some other people did not appreciate. So it's always that way, isn't it? But it's words.
It's words. And I know, listen, one of my favorite songs is a song by India Ari and oh God, why would I not be able to remember that man's name now? But David something, and he's one of my favorite R&B singers. But the song is called Words. Right. And the lyrics go, no matter what I say, it's nothing but words.
Right.
Oh, as a matter of fact, let me pull that up really quickly because I want
Do
to
you
read
think
those.
that the reason why we, like I said, the reason why we take certain words
Anthony
serious,
David, that's his name.
right?
Anthony David, that's his name. And I love him, by the way. So if you guys are fans of Anthony David, go look up the song Words and listen to it, okay?
Plug.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm watch this. Now I got to try to get him on the show, okay?
Speaking of words.
Okay. So the lyrics to the chorus say, can't tell you nothing you ain't already heard. No matter what I say, it's nothing but words. Just let me prove to you what I know is real. Let me express to you the way that I feel.
And that's why I'm
And
saying
throughout the song, there's a lot of colloquialism and a lot of play on words. Like they use words like synonym and sentences, things that describe words. You
right.
understand?
So my thing is it the word, or do you think it's the thought which then leads to the action? Does that make sense? So like if someone was to say, I don't think you're a nice person, yeah, that's their thought, and then is that then how they're going to treat you? Is that what we worry about? So the word is attached to an action, like and a thought process. Like,
I don't think we necessarily worry about the words. I think we worry about how people perceive us. When people say to me, "You're not nice," or I say, "I know I'm not. I don't play like I'm nice. I'm a kind person. I'm not a nice person."
I've got some words for you, Cammy, about what kind of person you are, but we will leave that for uncensored, shan't we?
I never told anybody I was nice. So when people say, "Well, Cammy, you're not nice," I never claimed to be. But so, what I am is kind. I'm kind. I'm loving. I'm caring. I'm compassionate.
So it's perception.
Yeah, it's perception.
Not the word,
but
it's
also perception versus reflection. And hear me out on this, okay? It's how they perceive you, but it's not only how they perceive you, it's how you perceive yourself. It's how you receive.
That's why I said what you allow in is a lot of time
it's how you receive it, and it's also how you reflect it. So if you say to me, "Cammy, you're not nice," first of all, because I'm already of the mindset that no, bitch, I'm not nice. I don't care if you think I'm nice or not. I'm going to receive that as, okay, what you want me to do about it?
Did you then change?
I'm too old for that.
No, not you change. Sorry, let me finish. If you then change because that person's given that opinion of you, does that then change how you are towards that person specifically, or you continue to be? Because I think we do. You think we don't? We do.
I'm going to tell you what we do. It's not them, it's you. And that's what I keep saying. It's not them and their words. It's you and how you receive it. Okay? Because if you receive it in a way that you internalize it and take it personally, that means in your head, that's also what you believe about yourself.
Exactly.
So here's one of the number one tips that I give people, regardless of if they're one of my coaching clients or if they're just somebody I met off the street, because I think I gave this tip to somebody yesterday as well.
Are you out meeting people on the street now, Cammy? Is this what you're doing?
Well, yeah.
I hate it when you do that because that just means trouble.
Well, I'm just.
Let me get the fan out. Let me
fan. That's okay. Hold on, wait. I'll be over there in your streets in February.
I know. Help, London. Hey, people.
That's right. London. I will be in London February 16th through the 18th, wilding out with Lauren. Okay. So
that is going to be nuts.
But no, some of the advice that I give people, especially when I hear them say something negative about themselves, somebody actually commented on this on one of our YouTube videos. And my response to them, that's where
what did they say?
They said that they have a hard time coping because they always feel like when people talk to them that they don't like them. So what I told them was, I said, hey, whatever you're going through, it's how you're receiving those words. And what I'd like for you to do is every time you have a negative thought, one negative thought about people not liking you and reasons why people don't like you, I want you to combat that with a truth. And I want you to combat it with 3 truths. So you tell yourself, so if you say, oh, well, people don't like me. Okay, now, first of all, you're speaking that over yourself. Okay.
But that's why I say it's very important what you put on yourself.
You're speaking that over yourself. What I want you to do every time you have a negative thought or a negative thought pops into your mind is you got to give it 3 positive things. First of all, if I say to myself, people don't like me. Oh, well, then now my mind is messed up all day. And every interaction I have, it's going to
have that fed through. Yeah.
It's going to be from the perspective that people don't like me. So when I have those type of thoughts, I have to tell myself, I'll give you a prime example. I'm on my healing journey. We just talked about what I went through 6 months ago and where I was 6 months ago, evident of that. So when my ex told me I was worthless, that's something that plays in my head still now. So every time I hear that, or I think I'm worthless, I have to tell myself, no, that's not true. I'm not worthless because look at the things that I'm capable of. Look at my creativity. Look at my talent. Look at my ambition. Look at my know-how. Look at my ingenuity. I have to remind myself of who I am. And I have to speak words of positivity over me. So every time somebody says something negative to you, even if you don't say it back to them in reflection, but you say it to yourself, say, no, that's not true about me. So when somebody says, Lauren, you're not nice, in my head, I'd be like, bitch, you don't know me.
Yeah, no, 100%. But then also, oh God, I had a point there and I wanted to say, so, oh goodness, what is it now? I was going to say along the lines of, okay, so if you now find yourself in a new relationship, do you believe the words that are being spoken? Now you've gone through what you've gone through. Do you find that certain words would trigger you and certain words you wouldn't believe regardless of how they're said or what they're said or whatever?
So the previous relationship has shaped me in a different way. It has changed my love language. So now words of affirmation are a part of my love language. I literally have to hear you say positive things.
Do you believe it?
Yes, I do, because here's the thing. In the situation that I'm currently in, not my past situation, you know what I'm talking about. The situation that I'm currently in, he says very loving things to me. He constantly lets me know how much he appreciates me. He constantly lets me know, the things that I'm doing. And even when he's correcting me on things, it's not in a harsh way.
It's in a positive.
It's in a positive and loving way. So yes, I believe it because I believe it to be true. Just like I believe that my ex thought I was worthless because of how consistently he said it and how he spoke it. So to have someone speak to you, now I know my love language now, it used to be acts of kindness and gifts, but now my love language is acts of kindness and words of affirmation.
Yeah. And it's really important that people understand that. What I wanted to ask you as well is, if we're going back in time, when do you think it changed, language from black men to black women as well? The types of language that is used, the bitches, the hoes, the this, the that. I don't think it's always been there.
I'm going to say this. I think here in America, we became more accepting of hearing the word bitch due to hip hop, of hearing the word hoe due to hip hop. And then here's the part that we have
So
to.
do you think it was not happening in neighborhoods and areas and
So,
local?
it was happening in the most derogatory way. So now like, here's the problem, and I have to address my own comfortability in certain things as well. Okay, so however you view me at this point, you can come and pick me. You can say whatever you want to about me. I honestly don't care, but I have to be accountable for my own comfortability in certain things. My current partner uses the word bitch a lot. He doesn't use it when he's describing me, but he uses it when he's describing certain situations or when he's talking about other women or other things. I never correct him or address it because honestly, when I'm talking to my girlfriends and when I'm talking in private rooms,
It might be exactly the same. Yeah,
I use bitch a lot.
That's what I'm saying.
And I use it, and the crazy part is we use it the same way we use the slur, the N-word. We use it in a way that we like, bitch, please, or bitch, did you see this? Or bitch, did you see that? And bitch this and bitch that and this, that. And even though it's not right, and we probably should change the way we speak to each other, I've become comfortable.
I think not just you. That's why I'm asking, when do you think it changed? Because, you know, I can imagine my grandparents having that kind of conversation, or even my aunties and uncles of an age, you know, that wouldn't be the case. Maybe if it was in a negative connotation, like where it was like.
Yeah. The only time in our generation, and I'm going to say in our generation because you and I are about 3 years apart.
Yeah.
In our generation, our parents and grandparents only utilized that word in a negative way, and they only utilized it when they were really angry about something. And I say, I think those words and even the N-word, we became comfortable with it with hip hop. We did with rap.
So then my thing is this, moving into that sort of life, well, speaking of words, when it comes to hip hop and when it comes to, you know, those sort of genres of music, is it okay for then white people to sing that song, to sing a song that's got those words in it?
See, we still debating that now, aren't we? We in 2025.
If it's a word, it's a word. What I'm saying is that
so let me say this to you. It's the same way as if a man walked up to you and said, bitch, did you do this, and the third? You would be like, who the fuck are you talking to?
However, if someone said it to you in a,
like, if I walked up to you and be like, bitch, did you do this? Did you do that? Da, 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 you wouldn't feel no type of way.
I wasn't going down that road. I was going down the uncensored route, but I'll leave it.
I went down that road because I knew where you was going. Okay.
Swerve. But I'm just saying. So it has different attachments, different roles, different connotations, different ways. And is it about how it's being said? Is it, like you said, we're singing a song?
I keep using the word bitch because it's so prevalent and it's a cross gender type of thing. So here's the key. You got to remember, Rihanna got a song called Bitch Better Have My Money. So me and you talking, bitch better have my money, and me and you cool with it. Let a nigga walk in between us and say, bitch better have my money.
But I get you. And that, but that's why I'm trying to say words. I just think words are how it leaves a person and then how it's accepted to a person. Because obviously, if I was then going to go to like a school disco and I'm hearing bitch better have my money, obviously it's going to be a lot different. But then I might play that in my house. So it's like,
we pick and choose. That's why I say it's the comfortability with us. We're comfortable with things that in hindsight we probably should not be comfortable with. And you know, like, hey, if you and I decide, hey, at some point we need to change the scope of how we think, or you know, how we we utilize words. Those are personal decisions that we have to make. Women have been fighting for years to get hip hop, to get rappers to stop saying bitch and hoe in songs. They have. And the crazy part is men have tried to explain to us that every time they say bitch and hoe, they're not talking about a female necessarily. So, like in some songs,
the thing is as well, it's like, is it, like you said, all the, have we become accustomed to wanting that bit of edginess? Is everything about us as a whole, women, men, a bit edgy? So like, if you look at the rappers and you look at someone who's a bit more a conscious rapper, a Common, a Mos Def, compared to a 50, and compared to they are so different in genre. One obviously believes a bit more in not using those types of words and those sorts of types of lyrics to promote their music. And guess what? They don't do as well. I honestly, and so that's why I'm saying, as a whole, are we like?
So let me also remind you that sometimes those are personas. For instance, with 50 Cent, that's a persona. In his personal life, I've heard him have conversations, and as trollish as he is on social media and to all of the people, out here, I don't think he's like that in real life.
No, but what I'm saying is, what sells? This is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah,
what I'm saying,
if you're gonna I'm gonna give you what let's talk about us real quick. On Uncensored, when you watch the Uncensored back, the first thing you said is Dewan needs to come back on the show.
I'm gonna get blazed for this.
That was and when you said it, I was surprised that you said it, but I understood exactly what you meant. You meant because of the controversy. This
is why I said, have we become edgy? I mean, look, don't get me wrong. There's views that he has that are very. I could wring his neck, right?
Yeah, but he adds to the conversation.
Yes, and he does add to the conversation, and we cannot keep shutting doors on how people think. That's
what I was going to say. Everybody is allowed to have their own thoughts, their own.
100%.
I think everybody speaks from their own place of trauma. Everybody.
But I do believe that if things are, the words that are coming out that we've become comfortable with have now filtered down, I would say, to generations below us that are going a step further. Here's
the problem. Our comfortability has led to, what's the word? Destruction. Does that make sense? Yeah. Our comfortability has led to destruction. So our comfortability with certain things, with certain words, with certain, takes on things, with accepting certain words being said, certain things being played out here, has led to almost a destruction of culture, so to speak. We no longer respect, and I'm going to even go a step further and say it's part of the problem that goes on between Black women and Black men.
That's what I'm saying to you. Because what I'm saying with the word,
we don't respect each other. We don't.
And so what I'm saying is that, look, if someone said, "Bitch, I love you," really, that doesn't really match together. So what I'm saying is that we have become just open and accepted, and then you wonder why we have got men and women.
But when they saying that, why they banging your back in?
Lauren is no longer available. I'm pleading the fifth on that, Cammy.
Oh my God! I swear to God, when you said that, that's the only thing that came to my mind. Swear to God. And that's why I said here.
Why are you whispering? It's me and you and the whole of Facebook. There's no point in whispering.
I sat here in silence and I was just like, oh, Cammy, you know what, Cammy? You just need to, don't say that, Cammy. Don't say it. Don't say it, Cammy. Don't say it, and it just.
I think that Cammy couldn't help it. I can't help it. I gotta say it. And that's what I'm saying as well. It's all different scenarios. It is like, oh, we're going to be very edgy. I'm telling you now, women want to hear certain things because, yeah, there are women that are campaigning. But hey, getting behind a door, we don't know what they're doing. So
Yeah.
I just feel like you said, it's the start of I think a whole disrespect. You've got, but how do we change? But then also, like you said, have we created a comfortability where it's so comfortable that the people that are receiving it just goes off their back?
So I think what it is
behind it.
One of the things that we have to be cognizant of as well is tone and delivery. Okay. Yes, so the tone and the delivery of the word also plays a part in how we receive that.
Yes.
So that's why I said, when you said, if a man was saying, bitch, I love you, if he
Can somebody please call the fire brigade? That red shirt, what is doing to Cammy? I have no idea. But
if he is in a certain position.
Come here! This is not uncensored. This is censored.
Which is why I tried to clean it up as much as I could.
You let it out. You let it out because you couldn't help it. You couldn't help it. Just behave. We've got guests next week. You better behave yourself, okay?
I don't have to behave next week because I guess it's down for the shenanigans, okay?
It's going to be carnage. It is absolutely going to be mental. And that's what I'm saying. Like, everyone loves, an edgy side. Everyone loves an edgy side. But that's why I'm saying to you, we don't know. Yeah. But that's why I asked, when did you think that it transitioned? And
I'm telling you, it was with it was with, and that's the reason why people are so comfortable with certain words worldwide. You understand? It was with hip hop. Hip hop culture has taken over the entire world, has it not?
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's taken over the whole world.
If you're hearing music,
people not to say certain things, though.
It's three words that are constantly being said in hip hop. That's nigga, bitch, and hoe, right? Yeah. So if I'm constantly playing that music and I'm constantly hearing this music and this songs, a million songs coming out with these three words in it all the time, what is that making us with those words? It's making us comfortable with those
what
words.
I'm gonna say is that hip hop, R&B now, even
pop too.
Yeah, okay, let's look at that.
And country, because I listen to country music.
And what I'm trying to say, if that is the case, and we are talking about global interest, how then do we expect other nationalities, other cultures, other races not to use bitch, hoe?
But that's my point. They do.
But why do we get offended when they do then?
We see that again. It depends on who it is that gets offended.
Does it? Do you have to have a license?
Yeah, it depends on who it is.
Hold on. I got my license. I can say it.
Look.
No, but does it?
We've seen videos where you'll see friend groups of Black and white people together. And the Black people that are with this white boy, he'll say the word nigga and they won't flinch. They won't do anything. And us, we like, what? So
and that's what I'm saying. But so what is it that allows you to be able to say it or not say it if it's popular music?
So here's the thing. It's the same way I just said about the word bitch, okay? And I'm using those two words because those words are very prevalent. And those are the words that we argue the most about in mainstream, okay? White people want to know why they can't use the word nigga. And the reason why they want to know is because we use it with each other. The same way men want to know why they can't use the word bitch, because we use it with each other. So you got all kinds of little new words. You a wigger, you a this, you a that. They got all new ways of saying it, okay? Because you got to remember.
I think it's Gary Owens. You know Gary Owens, the comedian?
I don't know, but I saw a video last night of a comedian who said, I hired a black man to say the word bitch.
I love that. No, Gary Owens is a white comedian.
I know who Gary Owens is. Yes.
So him, and he's like, he was doing like
a bit, yeah, and he's married to a black woman. His children are black. I saw a video of him yesterday, and he was talking about that. And some man said, "Is she black?" He's talking, man, they always black. He said, "I'm the only white man in the world that they be like, you a sellout. You a sellout if you with a white girl." And he said, this is what he said in his comedy stand-up. He said, black people, if I show up with a white girl, black people say, I always knew. I always knew. And he's right.
It's really good. And he's like, I don't know, I think something like his brother-in-law was like, hey nigga, da, 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 da. Like, and he's like, say it, Gary. He's like, no, sorry. He said, I'm not
his brother-in-law might be cool with him saying that, but his wife's cousins may not.
But that's what I'm saying, and that's what I'm trying to say. It is an absolute minefield. I mean, look, one of the reasons why I always say that I have, I wouldn't say an issue with interracial relationship, but I'm always weary about that whole interracial, because, and I think a lot of it is because I have heard family members, my own family members, my own direct, we're not talking about removed here, we're talking about aunties, uncles and stuff that are direct, that may have said things that I'm like, you know, but it's something that I've said, but I just find that it was too free for them to say, and so, but I'm thinking, well, they've got children that are mixed heritage or black or whatever it is, but I just find that I would look at them sideways when they say certain things. So is it because of,
again, and I'm gonna say this gonna be my word for the entire show is comfortability. It is people's comfortability with certain things. You may be comfortable with something that I may not be comfortable with. Like, I'm never going to be comfortable with a white person calling me a nigga. Never.
It's because of what the actual, listen, if the word during slavery was jackanory, that's the word you'd have a problem with throughout life. I mean, that's not the only word. We've got coon. We've got all these other words, yeah. But I just think it's what the word meant at that time.
Yeah. And again, it's the tone, it's the delivery, it's how they say it. But that's a word I'm never going to be comfortable with.
No. But and why do you think then in hip hop music, why they started using that word? Was it to put someone else down, or do you think it was just because do you get what I mean? Why did it even?
I honestly cannot tell you, because from my understanding, we've been using that word for years, even before hip hop came about. So that's been a part. What it is, it's been a part of our inner culture for a very long time. And I think what we did was we took a word that had a negative connotation, the same way females take the word bitch that has a negative connotation, and we flipped it to use it as something that, you know, is supposed to be positive amongst us, but it still has a negative connotation when it comes from someone else. So that's why you get a lot of debates about it's not fair that we can say it and they can't say it. No, when you say it in anger, and your tone is not of the one. When I say it, it's what's up, my nigga. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's my tone, it's my delivery. And I don't care if you are joking with me and saying, what's up, my nigga, and you a white person. When you say that to me, my automatic reaction is to punch you in your mouth.
And you say
now, You come out better calling me a bitch.
You're not coming to London.
Yeah.
You are not coming to London. We're not letting you come to London.
I'm being in them London streets.
Because shit, they're gonna run. I mean, they're gonna run. The power of words. She's coming.
Yeah,
she's coming.
And she using big words today.
Huge, yeah. I mean, like I said, I 100% get it.
Yeah.
And that's why in so many different scenarios we've gone through, it just everything has a different.
So let's switch this up a little bit and let's talk about ways in which words have the ability to heal us even after, or hurt us even after years after they've been spoken. I actually talked about that a little bit when I talked about my past relationship. But the crazy part is the question that you asked me when you said, do I think those words came from my childhood? And I said yes. So let's talk about how words, and I often say this to people, that I know physical abuse hurts, and a lot of people do have scars, and they have things that they can look at on their body that reminds them of their physical abuse. But verbal abuse is something that stays with you no matter how old or how far or how long away it was.
And that is started from words.
Yep. It started from words. It's the words that are used to describe you. It's the words that are told, that you are being told. So when, like, we had a conversation about telling our little boys that, stop crying. Little boys don't cry. We talked about the ways in which we talk to male children and how that can be detrimental to them as they grow up. One of our previous guests, Andrea, Sennington, the boho therapist, she and I conversate outside of here, and she made a statement to me one night where she said, it's easier to raise healthy boys than it is to heal grown men.
150%.
So
you got to do it right the first time.
Yeah. So we have to be cognizant not only of the words that we speak over ourselves, but the words that we say to our children, even in anger. And even when we think we're saying the right thing, sometimes it helps to just sort of sit down and double think. Should I say this to my child?
It's so crazy because just today, so I was talking to my auntie because my son, at school, he's really struggling and stuff. And one of the things they said they used to make, like, let us know whether he had a good day or a bad day. And then today she was like, oh, we've removed the good day and bad day. And my auntie was like, yeah, because them words play in a child's brain into an adult. Good, bad,
Yeah.
Bad. And what I saw with my son, it would play on him. Was I bad? Was I bad? Was I bad? There was nothing in between. It was just, was I good or was I bad?
Yeah. And just imagine if you're constantly being told that you're having a bad day. You were bad today. You were bad today. You were bad today. And you hear that every day for 7 days. Imagine what the effect that's going to have on your mental brain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're a big believer in energy and you're a big believer in that, and words attached to the energy and energy's attached to you, like, then you understand that's what you're bringing. That's what you're bringing all the time. Yeah. And I do believe that they do have if I think about my mum, she is a very strong woman. And something that stuck with me as I was a young mum, and something that stuck with me was, oh, you're just going to be like them young baby mothers, basically.
So let me say this. You see how you said that? I'm going to give you the flip side of this. Okay. You and I both were teen moms, okay? Your mom told you that you were going to be like the rest of these young teen moms. Let me tell you how my father worded that, okay? And we're going to talk about how it was the same thing, but it was just worded differently.
Right.
All right? So my father said to me, he said, he didn't say I was going to be like the rest of those teen moms. That's not what he said. What he said to me was, he said, I understand that, mistakes happen, but I just want to let you know I want to talk to you about statistics. He said, statistically, when a young girl has a baby, within 2 years, she has another one. So I want you to keep that in mind. And then he didn't just stop there. He went on to tell me stories about women who had babies as teens. There's a judge that was here in Georgia when I was younger. She had twins at the age of 16.
Wow.
And she had gone on to, finish high school, finish law school, become a judge. He gave me those words. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So instead of him downing me and, oh, you're going to be like this, you're going to be like that, you're going to be like this, he told me, no, here's some statistics that I want you to think about. And here are some stories of overcoming certain things. Ask me how many children I got.
That's what I'm saying.
1.
Exactly. And that's why I say, like, it sat with me so deep that it didn't just sit with me so deep. It lit a fire in me.
Yeah.
That was like, no, I'm not gonna prove you. And I'm very much hard-headed. Like, I'm not gonna prove you right.
If you tell me, Cammie, you gonna do this, this, and third, I'm gonna say
nothing, the opposite.
Watch me do something else, okay?
So right. That's why, and I think my daughter gave me, I don't know if you're Sunday, but my daughter gave me the guidance to keep going, the strength to keep going. I don't know what I would have ended up like had I not had my child so young, because there was certain things that you could.
I'll be honest with you. God knows how to work in our lives, okay? Because had I not had my son when I had him, girl,
I think they call it raising hell.
Okay. We at that stage right now at 45. So imagine if you had let me loose. Yeah. If you let me loose in my earlier years. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, it was a real burning desire to not give her that satisfaction.
Absolutely.
And even when I felt like I was failing, I wasn't showing no one I was failing. I was never going to show no one I was failing.
But see, that goes back to the resilience of Black women. See, what you don't realize is even though you thought you were rebelling against your mother, you weren't. You were literally living, some of the things that you have been taught generationally. Your mother is a strong woman. So she did what she thought she had to do to make you a strong Black woman.
100%. But I do believe that a lot of, I don't know how your mum is, but I would definitely say that my mum has also made me believe that I don't necessarily need a man and stuff. And I think there's a lot of mums out there that are kind of like,
I can't wait for our next uncensored episode because I think
kind of thing. And that's really damning. That's really damning.
So that right there, we talked about this on Uncensored this last show, and I hate that you weren't able to be on it because that was something we really needed. So here's what we talked about. We talked about the whole concept of I don't need a man, and here's my take on that. When I hear those words, what I hear is someone who's been hurt so much that they have either absolved themselves from relationships or they have come to the conclusion that 1, they don't make good choices in relationships, or 2, there are no men out there that truly value and love them. And I'm going to be very transparent again. At one point in my life, I felt that way. Because I had been hurt so much. And I do, like if you watch the Uncensored show, you saw Dewan tell me I make fucked up decisions when it comes to relationships. So yeah, like come on. So and I'm only speaking from my perspective, which is how the book Dear Black Woman came around. That's why it's called Dear Black Woman, because I can only speak from the perspective of a Black woman. I'm only speaking from my perspective. When I use those words, I don't need a man, it's because first, my mother instilled that in me. Not only did my mother instill that in me, I have 6 aunts, 6 strong female aunts who also instilled that in me. So that's 7 women in my life who have told me constantly that I don't need a man. Now, here's the flip side of that. I wasn't raised by any of them.
Right.
I was raised by my father.
Wow.
So when I say I don't need a man, it's because I've proven to myself that I don't need a man. But that's not true. Meaning, I'm a human. We're all human. Humans are not meant to do life alone. That's just not.
And that's why I'm saying, if you think about it, you are one example in the United States. I'm another example in the UK. This is a widespread problem amongst our culture, right?
Yeah.
And we, like you said, when you talk about words, we said it in songs, we don't need it. We had a whole movement around it. And it has really been damning and damaging for the Black family. It has. I mean, and just the family.
They talk about why Black men and Black women don't get along. I can take this all the way back to colonization if I really wanted to. I can take it back to how when we were all colonized, no matter where we were, when we all left Africa and went to another land where they tried to enslave us, whether it was England, whether it was, down in South America, whether it was in the Caribbean, whether it was Puerto Rico, whether it was here in the United States, whether it was Canada, wherever they sent us, they broke our families. They broke our families and they made the women the dominant source in the family. They made us that dominant force. Then, I don't know about in the UK, but in the 80s.
Do you feel like, no, because I would say that we had an era where there was a lot of Black families, and I think
I was about to go. Okay. So from colonization, we got this whole, we have to have each other. We have to stick together. Remember, we have to be with each other. It's a survival thing. We need each other in order to survive. So we married. We had families. That's what our grandparents did. We fought for each other. Remember, we were still going through things. We were still going through things. Over here, we had the civil rights movement. You guys had you all's own thing over there that you guys were going through. In Africa, it was apartheid. It's a lot of different scenarios where we still had to rely on each other. So we built with each other then. So now, and we made this statement on the Uncensored podcast. Now women have choices. See, coming out of slavery, women didn't have choices. We couldn't own homes. We couldn't have bank accounts. We didn't have credit cards. We couldn't do any of that without a man.
So
then here.
Oh, Cammy, you're frozen. Cammy, you left me. Wow.
Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I was like, well, she's left me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so in the 80s, we had a really, really bad crack epidemic. Plus, they started locking up Black men at an all-time high rate. Okay. So that also broke up the Black family. Then they started really pumping into women about being strong, independent women, and you can do this on your own, and you can do this on your own, and that on your own. So it's brainwashing. It's over time.
Yeah.
So now you've removed the man from the family. You remove the man from the household.
And so now also you've made the Black woman successful, and you've made her independent, and you've made her be able to do everything by herself pretty much.
And you've made the Black man secondary.
And feel inferior. And I think that we, I think it is our job to kind of try and get, I mean, I've definitely changed my outlook on that whole situation. And if I can speak to my daughter and people, young girls and men around me, I say stick together. I don't say make it your be all and end all, but
First of all, here's my thing. I think we need to work together as a collective, regardless of if we're in relationship with each other or not.
Of course.
The whole entire, all of these sayings and things out here that we hear we hear constantly, or, it takes a village to raise a child. That village doesn't have to look like a family or a relationship. Unfortunately, there are a lot of Black men out here that have multiple children with multiple women. There's no way, unless you marry all of these women and become this big polygamy camp, that you can be a family with all of these people. But you can, as a single mom, you can create a village of uncles,
friends and uncles and cousins and stuff, of course. And that's what it's important that
and it's also important
we don't keep putting off something called responsibility, because that's a key thing here. People believe that that's not my child, that's not my this, that's not my that.
But we're collectively, this is our next generation. Like, for instance, my future goals after I leave Vietnam, I'm only going to be in Vietnam for about 2 years. Everybody keeps asking me that. So I'm only going to be in Vietnam for a couple of years. When I come back and when I return to the United States, I'm going to proceed with the plans that I had when I was living in Texas. I'm going to buy land. I'm going to adopt foster children. I'm going to teach agriculture. I'm going to do that because it's my responsibility.
Yeah.
Those aren't my kids. That's not my family, but that's damn sure my responsibility.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. We need to change the way in which we think.
We need to change the way in which we think. We need to change the way we build connections. We need to change the way in which we foster understanding with each other. I think there are dangers in a lot of the ways we talk to each other. We speak to each other without considering the impact of our words. Yeah, definitely. Like we say things out of trauma. We say things out of past life experiences.
And deflection.
Out of fear. We say things out of insecurities. We need to like, you know how they say stop for a moment before you say anything and think about it? I wholeheartedly have started to assess that and bring that into my life. So, but and another thing that I do is I have a checks and balance system. You're part of my checks and balance system, and you know that.
Am I right? Am I right? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Did I say it? Did I say it?
Yeah, you know me. If I say something, I'll be like, Lauren, do you think I said that in a way?
No, and it is important to get a view. But I think, like you said, in the first place, thinking about what you say what you say, understand, reflect, not being too pig-headed to say, actually, I think that bit was, or stand by your truth, one or the other, whatever it is.
So here, my biggest thing is we constantly speak without consideration. We only think about ourselves when we speak, how it makes us feel, how it makes us, what it means to us. Are we ever really considering how the other person will feel with the words that we're about to spew out of our mouths? But that's a lot of times that's because we're not thinking before we speak.
Or sometimes we don't care.
I know I don't.
You need to leave me alone today. I can't. Just leave me alone today.
We're gonna keep it all the way 100. You heard me say I am not nice. I'm kind. I'm loving. But I'm not nice. I listen. I'm.
Can you change your thingy next week to that then, please?
I'm not nice.
It's not nice.
Not nice. But the beautiful part about it is I'm 45 years old, and it's not. I am very self-aware, meaning that. Yes, I did allow somebody to tell me that I was worthless, I was useless, and I was of no value. But as I thought about it, I took accountability for that and said the only reason he was allowed to say those things to me and allowed to get through to me is because that's how I felt about myself. A lot of people could not understand when I said my ex owes me no apology.
No.
He doesn't
That's
owe me.
Part of your journey as well. It's a part of you accepting what you played, what part you played.
Yeah. Like,
play parts.
you telling me before I met this man, I had my own line of fashion. I was already a world-renowned chef. I was already an author. And this man got into my life. I was already building my farm idea out in Texas. I'd already started my vocational program. And I allowed someone, did you hear the word I used? I allowed someone to come into my life and tear me down bit by bit by bit by bit, to the point that I was a shell of myself. And what I told myself in return is, I love me enough for me to love him, for him to love me. Like, there's enough love in me for both of us. The problem was, I was pouring the love and wasn't getting it back.
It was emptying your cup.
Yeah. So that was, whose fault was that? Because who was pouring the love?
And that's it. That's exactly it. Exactly it.
Yeah. And I took it. I allowed him to say the things that he said. I allowed him to treat me the way that he treated me. I allowed all of this. So now I have to take accountability for my part in that. I have to take accountability for
that's the only way you will heal.
Yeah.
That's the
I
only
have
way
to take accountability for those words and what those words actually mean to me. And not in the context of him saying them, but how I felt. Those words weren't just his words. Those were my words as well.
100%.
Yeah.
Hit that on the head.
With that being said, just in life, we have to just be mindful of the words that we say to each other, the words that we say to ourselves. We have to, and like I continue to say to people, and like I've always said, when you come across those times when you're feeling negative and you're saying the negative things to yourself, and you're hearing those negative things, or those are your own negative thoughts, you have to combat that with 3 positive things about yourself every day. That's why affirmations are so important as well.
100%.
Like, people think it's crazy to stand in front of the mirror and say, I'm going to do this and I'm going to be that. No. You literally, do you know how much trash you intake on a regular basis?
Yeah, no, it hypes you up when you're positive about yourself. I love it. You have to
listen, the words you hear on TV, the words you hear in music, the words you read on social media, all impact your life. They all impact how you feel about yourself, how you see yourself, how you view yourself. They all impact that.
Yep.
And
so you just gotta really, and you should make it a part of like your self-care. We had that whole conversation.
Every day, wake up and stand yourself in a mirror and say, I love me. Like, I'm constantly, one of the things that I ordered for Dear Black Woman were greeting cards. And the greeting cards say, you are powerful, you are loved, you are enough. Because I think Black women need to hear that every day.
Every day. They got you, Cammie. They got you.
Yeah.
They got you. They got Cammie.
They got me. And that's what I said. I may not be nice, but I'm loving.
Yes.
I'm kind.
You are enough.
Yeah.
We love you.
Yeah. I do. Listen, I ain't no nice person, so don't come to me expecting nice from me.
It's not nice. Not nice.
Okay. But what you will get from me is compassion. What you will get from me is non-judgment. What you will get from me is grace. What you will get from me is someone who will give you a hug if I feel like you need a hug, even if that hug comes through words.
Yeah.
But what you will also get from me is correction.
Yes. Cammie.
Now.
Thank you for this lovely.
But no, Lauren, that's been an hour. This has been our first show back, Listen, also, y'all, did y'all see that Lauren changed her background? We got a whole new background from the UK now, okay?
No, look.
Look, I know. So listen, I don't know if you guys heard me, but I am going to be in London February the 16th through the 18th. Hopefully me and Lauren will be able to do a live show there. There are a few other women in the UK that I am excited about meeting that we're going to have, that maybe we can do a live show and do a
I
group
think
show.
so.
Yeah.
That would be so cool. Yeah,
Yeah.
100%.
So we may be coming to y'all with a special edition shows. Like we're all gonna be in one place. Me, Lauren, Danielle Belcher.
I
Yeah,
know.
we're all gonna be in London. So
Amazing.
you guys are gonna be following me. It's about that time, you guys. I'm moving. Guess where I'm moving to? Vietnam.
Oh God! Good luck with your travel. Well, I'll see you soon.
Well, you'll see me. But listen, guess what? Our show, the topic of our show is the weekend the Thursday before I actually come there.
What?
Traveling while Black.
Oh, that means I have to have a trip. Where am I going? Traveling. Oh my God. Well, I'm so excited and thank you for this amazing introduction to the season 2. I'm so blessed.
So grateful. We're gonna have a great season this season. We got some outstanding guests lined up. Okay, like next week.
Okay.
Okay, like I'm gonna be cute. I'm gonna be cute next week. Yeah, I'm gonna be real cute next week. I might put some lashes on. I might put on a little foundation, a little makeup. I'm definitely gonna straighten the hair out or even lay that wig again. I'm gonna be cute next week. Yeah. We're gonna have some fun next week. Yes.
Thank you, guys. Thank you.
We got some really exciting guests coming up this season. We're going to have some really dynamic topics that we're going to be talking about. We just want to invite you to come back next week for our next episode. But also remember, jump over to our website, dearblackwoman.me. Sign up for a subscription of our magazine, digital and print. This month, our actual magazine will be released tomorrow, which is so dynamic because our first episode is actually going to be up tomorrow live for everybody to hear. But our first magazine will be released. June Marie Outlaw is our cover model, and we do an article on her talking about, and she's been on the show. She was on the show last season. We did an article on her talking about turning your purpose into profit. Also, we talk about in the magazine, we talk about everything globally. I've written articles. We've had some guest writers. Shout out to Miss Carmen Jenkins of Inner Healing. She has contributed about 4 articles to our publication. Dr. Christy Taylor of Success Works, she has contributed articles to our publication. I am so overwhelmed and so blessed by the amount of Black women who want to be a part of what it is that we're building. So I'm so grateful to you all. And I just want to say, continue to support us as much as you can. All of you all over the world, because we need you. We're looking forward to your support, and we appreciate everything that you're doing to show us love. So thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
Lauren, that's it for us today. We did good, didn't we?
Thank you.
We did good. All right, you guys, this has been another episode of Dear Black Woman. And I just want to say thank you so much for being a part of what we're building and what we're trying to do here. With that being said, thank you so much to Rabbit Production for the music that we hear every episode. And if anything that we said today resonated with you or made you feel any type of I got knocked out. But I just want to invite you to download, subscribe, and share this podcast with any of your friends. Thank you again for your support. If you are on Facebook, please like and follow us on the Dear Black Woman book, Dear Black Woman Media on Facebook. Also, any Black women out there who'd like to join our group, we have a group on Facebook called Dear Black Woman as well, where it is a safe space for Black women to come in, educate, entertain, and talk to other Black women about things that are important to Black women globally. Also, follow us on TikTok. We are on TikTok at DBW Media. We are also on Instagram as Dear Black Woman Media as well. Thank you guys so much for your support. Go purchase our books, purchase our coloring books, purchase our affirmation cards. We even have Dear Black Woman t-shirts and merch. Go get you one. Go get you one. We got bags, cups, and everything. But again, thank you all so much for your support. And with that, farewell. Dear Black Woman is a podcast where we dive into the challenges, current events, and everyday realities Black women face around the world.
We're here to share real stories, offer practical advice, and create a safe space for authentic conversations that empower and inspire.
Join us each week as we connect, uplift, and celebrate the resilience and strength of Black women everywhere. Listen to Dear Black Woman on your favorite podcast platform.